Bruce Daisley. It gives me great delight to introduce Bruce, in part because I work very closely with him. My team and also his team have worked to bring a lot of success to entertainment advertisers over the last 2 or 3 years. In June 2010, Bruce was awarded greatest individual contribution to new media by New Media Age after a magazine poll of their readers. And in Bruce's words, I found this on his LinkedIn page, it was something of an Obama moment. I was the first Brummie to hold the title, so I'm sure that we have a few in our midst as well who attended IAB Engage just a couple of weeks ago. A lot of that's been streamed and you can see online still as well. And he was voted the sort of top-rated speaker, I think, after, was it Jimmy Carr came #1? Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation welcoming Bruce to the stage. Cheers, Bruce.
Fuck, that's given me a lot to live up to. Right, I'm going to try and make it sort of brief and inspiring today. I'm going to try and pick a few examples of how people are using video, give you a few examples of some of the research that's out there. I'm going to debut some research that no one's seen before as well. So hopefully you'll get a good insight into some of the stuff that's coming up. First thing I've done is I've uploaded all the slides here. And what I'll do is I'll link to everyone else's presentation. So if you go to this now, you'll just see mine. But if you go to this tomorrow, I'll make sure everyone's linked. So this is one of those URL shorteners. So it's www.bit.ly/thinkyoutube. So no, this is Think Entertainment. But anyway, so I'll link to all those things there. Right, so what I'm going to talk about today, I'm just going to, I don't know about anyone else, anyone feeling Christmassy? And Christmas is sort of, I was in WH Smith's getting myself a Twix on the way down here, and there was Christmas music playing, and I don't know, at this time of year I get a bit reflective. So I thought, take a moment to look at the people that online video has made famous this year. So, right, so can anyone get these 4? Anyone get all 4? Oh, not you. You work at Google. Anyone get all 4 of that gentleman there? Top left? Newport. That's the Newport State of Mind. So this was the Jay-Z pastiche that did 3 million views in a sort of frenetic 3 days in June. Can you get the next one? It's the most hated woman in Britain, Osama bin Laden. Now, little did she know that a Facebook video would become a sort of a global and international phenomenon and would catapult her to worldwide notoriety. The next one? That's it. It's the man of the year. It's the salvation for anyone who's sitting on a boring brief. The story of Old Spice, and I've uploaded the whole story on the slides. The Old Spice is really the inspiration, I think, for everyone. They created a campaign that simultaneously linked Twitter and YouTube and had 200 million views. The interesting thing about Old Spice, actually, is it's still, 3 or 4 months after the peak, it's still doing 3 million users every month. And what we know about that is that audience on YouTube will probably exist in perpetuity. So effectively, they've got the equivalent of a cable network showing Old Spice ads every month. It's just interesting. Content lives forever. And I think Old Spice is a good example. Anyone know this kid? Grace and Chance, right? Well done, that man. So this kid... The Bieber rule was this. When Bieber got signed, Justin Bieber got signed, 7 million people had viewed the clips of him singing in his mum's front room. And Bieber, I don't need to tell you guys, he's the phenomenon, the teen phenomenon of the year. This kid uploaded a video of himself performing at his school fair in the summer of this year. It's been seen 33 million times. And in fact, this week, his debut single comes out in the US. So he's signed to Ellen DeGeneres' record label, and his single comes out this week. He's now 13. He was 12 at the time. He's become an international celebrity through online video. But also, so those are people who've been made famous. I thought we'd also talk about the creativity that's spawning from online video. So just a few examples here. I'm just going to skip through these. A couple of these are things that we've done. So one thing that's really been inspired by online video is animation. There's a return to a format for animation. Animation previously existed in pop videos, it existed in ads, but there was no platform for it. We created an event called YouTube Play, and we staged a major exhibition at the Guggenheim Museum in New York last month, which showcased some of the best animation from around the world. And I invite you to sort of go and check it out on YouTube. It's breathtaking. some of the creativity that comes from wide communities. This time last year, you may have seen a clip, an animation clip called Panic Attack. Panic Attack was a film created for $500 by a guy from Montevideo in Uruguay. And he's gone on to win a $30 million Hollywood contract from it. So, you know, animation has been completely energized. Life in a Day is a sort of crowdsourced film that we conceived of trying to capture what everyone in the world was doing on the 24th of July this year. And Kevin MacDonald and Ridley Scott are in the process of turning that into a film for us. So they've finished the first 20 minutes this week, and that's going to be released in January. The next one is just amazing original content that's been uploaded onto YouTube. So that's Kanye there, from just a breathtaking new album that he's created. But simultaneous with the album, about a month ago, he uploaded a 30-minute film onto YouTube of him performing some of the music from it. And it sort of harps back to the golden era of Michael Jackson's Thriller and creativity being expressed in video and music. It's just an amazing film. Other original creations this year, Harry Hill's got his own online show on YouTube. Alan Partridge is halfway through a series of 10 original episodes of Alan Partridge, just being shown on YouTube every Friday. There's loads of original new creations. And the final one, this is an ad for, this won the ad of the year last week. So we asked YouTube viewers to vote which was the favourite ad of the year. And they looked at hundreds of different ads. And actually, the really inspiring good thing about this is for Sussex Safer Roads. Right, no agency created this. This was created by a lone director who art directed it himself for a small local council. However, it won more votes from our users than any other piece of creative. Just a really inspiring example of how a great idea can win out, irrespective of where it's come from. So, I'm going to go into now a couple of stats about how you might use video. First thing to be aware of is that this stat, which it never ceases to be mind-blowing. This was a stat by Cisco. So Cisco are the people who sort of do the pipe work of the web. They do the infrastructure of how content gets from somewhere else to your living room. And they say that they're forecasting that video content accounts for about 40% of bandwidth now. By 2013, it's going to be 90%. Raises massive questions about how people are going to articulate their message in a video-dominated web. So how are you going to get your message to someone when you're only speaking in text? How's that going to work? Another stat is we have announced these stats in the last couple of months. We now do 2 billion streams every day. So that's like every person on the planet watching 10 YouTube clips every month. And the stat we released last week, the bottom one here, there are 35 hours of new content uploaded onto YouTube every day, which means that there's a lot of content you're competing with. And it's an incredible democracy, so you have to find a way to try to cut your way through that. So what I thought I'd do is give you a couple of examples of how people are forging ahead and how they're using video to market their products. The first one is probably one of the most engaging ads of the year. Has everyone seen the Tipex campaign? I think the really interesting thing about the Tipex campaign is that they've taken the canvas of a YouTube brand channel and they've just thrown something unexpected in there. And the genius thing about it is that I think we're learning new rules and new ways to operate that space by their experimentation. So the way that Tipex works is that you come along, you do a search on the site, and there's a viral...
Shoot this bear, come on! I can't! Just shoot it! Hey! I don't want to shoot this bear. Help me to rewrite this story. Type anything you want with your keyboard, then enjoy.
Maybe I'd overestimated the audience, but I was thinking existential here. I thought becomes a bear. You can never go wrong going lowest common denominator, though, and they're typed in shags. The genius thing about this is that the day this went live, 43 million words were typed into that box. Just an extraordinary level of engagement. I worked that out, so that's the equivalent of 600 novels. Worth saying there would be shit novels. eats, sleeps, shags, eats, sleep, it wouldn't work. But it's just, you know, as we move, I think, there's a big trend that's going on, shifting from just awareness to engagement. I think, you know, that level of engagement is extraordinary. Here's the homepage that we had on the site last Friday. Chewy showed the one from today. This was Harry Potter, and just a beautiful execution, sort of showing HD video. But I wanted to illustrate really how people are getting results from that sort of creative. So first thing to be aware of, we did a piece of research, so this has not been seen before, that suggests that a second homepage adds about 75% additional reach. So something to be aware. One thing that the YouTube experience tends to be characterized by is people return several times a month, but they don't always return consecutive days. Also, a large number of people enter the site via a deep link, by a link that's been sent to them, rather than via the homepage. So something being aware of, you know, the homepage, the research we've done suggests that the incremental reach of a second day is about 75%. But here's an example. So this was a campaign that took that homepage format, and the brief that led to this campaign is the guy who'd created this. It's a product called the AR drone. It's sort of like this extraordinary bin lid-sized UFO. It's operated by your iPhone. It's got 2 cameras in it. Sort of voyeur's delight, I thought. You could fly it over your neighbour's fence, have a look what's going on. I don't know, maybe that's just my sick mind. But, so the interesting thing about this, the guy who created it said to us, make the product famous. We want to be the most famous toy this Christmas. So the campaign was seen, across the territories he took, was seen 107 million times. 1.3 million people went into his store to try and buy it. If they were like me, they saw it was 300 quid, thought, fuck that, I'm buying a Frisbee. But, you know, but in fact, he sold out, and worldwide, that product has now sold out, and effectively, it's just boosted his business to another level. But I thought, I wonder how famous he became by that campaign. So what I did is I looked at insights for search data. So anyone can do this about any campaign ever. I just searched for the term AR drone. So, you know, people might not know it's called specifically the AR drone. So to some extent, these might be understated. But you can see here, so there were no searches in June and July. As we got into when the campaign started on YouTube, the searches went up. I thought I'd give you a barometer, because that's just a number, right? So I thought I picked the epitome of fame. If I'm measuring how famous that campaign became. The epitome of fame, Simon Cowell. Look at that. The AR drone was briefly more famous than Simon Cowell. I say briefly because, look, Simon Cowell won in the end. But it's just a good indication, really, that platform effectively is like, you know, like the Cromwell Road poster of its day. It's the great way to drive awareness and fame to a product. I'm just going to finish on a piece of research that we've just done on promoted video. So promoted video, you may be aware that this is the promoted video format. So this is like the equivalent of Google AdWords on YouTube. It's a cost per click basis. And there's 2 places you see it on the site. On the left-hand side, you can see there on search pages. So if someone searches for Nike, someone searches for Avatar, then you can choose to have your ad appear against those search terms. But it also appears contextually on watch pages. But we just did a piece of work on this that I thought was fascinating. Impressions for this are free. So your ad being shown is free. You only pay if someone clicks. And here's the fascinating thing we found, is that the ad recall for these formats are extraordinary. Because people perceive this as content, and they perceive it as relevant to what they're doing. They remember what they've seen. So this piece of work here, on search pages, 23% of people remembered seeing those ads. On watch pages, 43% of people remembered seeing them. When they were clicked, 77% of people. So that's the only time you're paying. The other 2 bits are free. 77% of people remembered seeing those ads. So just extraordinarily successful. That sort of inspired some of our thinking, and I want to just go on and show you what we're working on next. So that level of engagement really interested us. I've loaded a piece of research onto the link, but I'm just going to talk about something that we found out from a Cadbury's campaign we ran. Cadbury's did a campaign with us, with Facebook, and on TV for this ad, for the Chocolate Charmer campaign. So here's some of the ads that they ran. The interesting thing about this, I'm not going to show you the results. The results effectively suggested that online video was 6 times more impactful than TV. I'm not going to show you all the results. The thing that really interested me is the target audience they had, 16 to 34-year-olds. 69% of them hadn't seen the TV. So, you know, it was a medium to heavyweight TV campaign, But this is just like this extraordinary revelation that we're facing right now. It's getting harder and harder to reach young people with campaigns. And so one of the insights that we got from the promoted video campaign was engaged views are really impactful. The next thing is people are facing a challenge. How do I get my message out? So here's one of the things that we've come up with, and we're testing this right now. This is skippable ads. So this is an ad that if people aren't interested in it, they can skip it. So we show, in this case here, someone's chosen to watch this cartoon, and what you can see is that the ad appears, and at the top of the screen you can see that it says, I'm not sure you can see, but it says skip this ad. So it gives you 5 seconds for free, then it says skip this ad. The idea behind it is, and we're testing that right now, we've got a number of advertisers live with it. The idea behind it is, if the ad's not relevant to you, would rather you skipped it and didn't watch it, and we only charge the people who had engaged views. Right, interesting idea. The whole dynamic of TV, the whole language of TV is based on just saturating people. It's like attritional warfare. You know, we don't talk about engaging people, we talk about covering them. Just cover people off. This is exactly the opposite. What we want to do with this is only charge you if someone's been interested in your ad. We're live with it right now. The really interesting thing is the button that we had at the top there. We chose the button that had the highest skip rate. So we want people, as many people as possible to skip it. And, you know, effectively at the moment, we've got some of the tests. Some of them are being skipped 10% of the time. Some are being skipped 50% of the time. And the great thing is we're learning what ads really work and what don't. For the entertainment sector, it's extraordinarily powerful. You've got a gaming piece of content, you want to show it just to gamers, the chances are they're going to want to watch that and you'll pay a far lower price. So it's on an auction based on quality score like search. So it's a bit revolutionary, and I think it's probably, you know, a good sign of what's to come. We really think we can innovate in this space. So the notion that you need to hit people 4 times, maybe that's, you only have to hit people 4 times on TV because they're not really paying full attention. Maybe it's once. Maybe effective advertising is showing it once, but then being engaged. The final thing that we're doing, and probably you're going to hear a lot of next year, is live streaming. So from the Harry Potter premiere 2 weeks ago, we streamed the whole premiere live, the red carpet live. That's the moment when One Direction turned up. Slightly lower key when Wagner turned up, but, you know, it's sort of, it swings and roundabouts. So effectively, I've sort of said everything I want to say. Hopefully today, video is your aha moment. And I thought I'd finish with another aha moment. This is a really corny link. I'll show you a clip of the new YouTube exclusive Alan Partridge clip that's live every Friday.
There's tea taste of chicken. Kevin, this tea taste of chicken. This tea taste of chicken. Right, taste of chicken.
It's just normal tea bag.
Well, hang on. No, I've just eaten some chicken. It's the bones.
I'd say that for you.
Thank you very much.